Hey guys, welcome back. I am Nat from Nat to Numbers, also known as the Numerology Chick over on Instagram. I think it's so funny that I'm doing a video on the number 6 this week, and I literally have to rush through this video because my toddler's about to wake up in the other room. The 6 is a number in numerology that's all about caregiving and love and family, and that's definitely the thematic today for me. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the dark side or shadow side of the number 6 in numerology. So if you have a 6 life path expression number, heart's desire, personality, or you're born on a day of the month that adds down to 6, this video is for you. I'm going to be going over the top 3 shadow aspects to watch out for if you have this number 6 in your spiritual DNA. And the most important part, I'm going to talk about the remedies, so that if these shadow aspects show up, you know what to do so that you can use this incredible superpower you were given from that great beyond. You can use it for fulfillment and satisfaction in your life and not suffering. So if you're enjoying these Friday morning uploads and you want more of this content, please share the love, subscribe, comment. Thank you to every single one of you who is already a loyal subscriber. I appreciate you so much. Okay, so let me first define what I mean by shadow aspect. So in numerology, every single number is pointing to a fundamental pattern or a fundamental instinct in the universe. Every single fundamental pattern is here in this reality to get a job done, to produce a result. So the shadow aspect is simply when we are not effectively engaging in producing the result of that number in our chart in an effective way. It's like having a magic wand, not knowing how to use it, having a magic wand and misfiring. So if you have the number 6 in your chart, let's dive into what this means. The number 6 is a number in the universe, a pattern that wants to produce the result of healing, and as such to create harmony, balance, wholeness within families and communities. The way that healing is produced, the way that this result emerges is via love. So if you have a 6 in your chart, you were born with this big open heart that loves and cares for other people so deeply. You desire and want to help, and you even have this sort of superpower of empathy and ecological sensitivity. You immediately and automatically know who needs your help. Now, the downside to this is if you have this incredible superpower where you feel a sense of duty, a sense of responsibility to respond to those in need, to use the love that you feel for good in your environment, it can be overwhelming. And so you might actually misuse this superpower at first, or you might try to stuff it down. And if you do, you'll dip into the shadow aspects. So let's dive in. So the first shadow aspect that usually shows up for 6s, and it usually does go in this order, is overgiving, which I know it's like, what? Overgiving is a shadow aspect? Yeah, it is. This is where you sacrifice yourself to help others. This is where you take action and make decisions out of, obligation, out of guilt, out of shame. This is where you accept responsibility for other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. This is a hard place to be, because usually what you're feeling here is you're feeling that the way that you help is by sacrificing yourself. So the problem with overgiving is it doesn't produce the result of true transformative love. Overgiving doesn't produce the result of healing. The reason why is because when you are depleted, you are actually contributing to dysfunction. When you are depleted, you're contributing to the dis-ease of, let's say, the family, the workplace, the ecosystem, the community, right? It doesn't end up working out in your favor. It doesn't produce the result that the 6 wants to produce. So then what happens typically is if you overgive long enough and it's not working, you up the ante and you become the meddler. The meddler is somebody who becomes overly invested in other people's lives, situations, and realities. You get into other people's business, but you do so under the guises of being loving, caring, and virtuous. What can also happen here when you become the meddler is you become incredibly judgmental, and this is because you're actually trying to motivate others to change their lives via criticism, let's say, because you so desperately need them to finally get their shit together, to finally heal so you can take care of yourself and be okay. Meddling doesn't work. Newsflash, it never works, okay? People think that by meddling, they can finally change people. By meddling, that they can enact healing in other people's lives or within a family or community. It doesn't work. When you meddle, two things are happening. You're actually neglecting your own personal garden, which is becoming diseased and unstable. But also, the other thing that's happening is that other people being accountable to their own healing process is essential and required for true sustainable healing, right? So when you're meddling, you're actually dipping into enabling behavior that perpetuates the dysfunction of a person, a group of people, an environment, never truly accessing wholeness, harmony, and balance. Okay, so if you overgive long enough and then you meddle long enough, you are going to start to dip into the deepest and darkest shadow aspect of the number 6. Now, this one isn't going to seem as dire as some of the other numbers that we've covered, and that's actually because 6s are known as some of the most balanced number people in the numerology sequence. But this third shadow aspect can get pretty dark. And this is actually where a 6 becomes apathetic. And what I mean by that is you no longer have feelings for or care for other people because you have such massive compassion fatigue. So what can happen here initially before the apathy sets in is like incredible hatefulness, okay? Like 6s will oftentimes say to me, people are such idiots. I can't stand people. Everybody leave me the F alone, right? There's anger here. There's almost hatred, definitely resentment, which comes usually up in the face of the meddler. But the deeper shadow aspect that can happen with apathy is that you suddenly feel justified in actually toxifying other people's lives. You feel justified because you're no longer connected from your heart. You feel justified in asking other people to give things to you that they don't want to give because you say to yourself, but I've given to them and they're not appreciative of all that I've done, of all that I've sacrificed, of all that I've given. So I'm going to take it from them. So I'm going to find manipulative ways to get it from them, right? So it's this really weird dynamic of apathy, right? It's like you go from being so overly caring to not caring at all anymore and feeling this sense of righteousness about getting what you want and need because you're so starving, okay? And so what you can see here is you can see if you meet a 6 who's in this apathy stage, is they're the last person that you would think of as being a person that's loving, giving, and caring. They're typically very self-focused. They're typically people that might pull constantly on you or expect a lot from you. They might even create manipulations of, you should do this, it's your responsibility to do this for me. But all of this is coming from the shadow aspect. It's coming from going through usually a long bout of overgiving and then meddling and being so exhausted because they simply do not know how to use this incredible big heart that they have for balance and good in their life and in the lives of those that are around them. So what do you do when you notice that you're dipping into any of these shadow aspects? What do you do when you notice that you're overgiving, or you're overly invested in other people's lives and you're meddling, or you're even getting to the place where you can't stand people anymore, you're resentful and you are developing apathy, okay? What do you do? Let's talk about the remedies. I want to first say that the way that you generate true healing, the way that you're able to truly give sustainable love is my first tip. It's through self-care. And it sounds so cliche and so annoying, but I gotta tell you that this one thing can change the life of a 6. When I talk about self-care, I'm talking about basics. Usually 6s, when they're dipping into these shadow aspects for long enough, usually their life is in shambles. You know, they might have been investing in other people's gardens and watered other people's worlds, but when they come back home, things are not okay. So self-care meaning, usually 6s have to assess, are you eating food? Are you drinking water? Are you sleeping? Are you moving? Are you resting? And in particular, are you taking time for yourself? Because then the second remedy, the second tip to get out of these shadow aspects is to actually assess what are the ways that you can give? What are the ways that you can offer up your support from your heart that regenerate you? Because here's the thing, your Creator has put a series of desires on your heart that are unique to you, that are the particular way that you can heal, that you can help, that you can support others, that also makes you this big, bright light of wholeness, health, and vitality. You got to take care of yourself long enough and prioritize a little time to yourself long enough to be able to hear the whispers of your soul, to be able to feel this desire that's on your heart. But when you do, you will discover that there is a way to help other people that while doing so actually makes you feel even more loved and nourished than ever. You don't have to support other people and sacrifice yourself. You don't have to help other people and see yourself being depleted. The desire that's on your heart, the particular way that you are called to help people that puts a smile on your face is the key to your success. And so the last little tip is pursue that thing. Pursue the things that make you feel so filled up. Pursue that makes you feel filled up while you're offering up support, and prioritize it. Invite people into that, and you will see amazing miracles happen. So if you engage in these remedies, basic self-care, taking time to assess what regenerates you, what are the things that you can do and how you can help that make you feel like an even more healthy, vital person, and make sure you prioritize those things, you immediately will come out of these shadow aspects and you will feel like you are breathing life back into your own personal garden. All right, I want to hear from you sixes. Did you resonate with any of the content that we just covered? And I also want to hear from you. If you notice that you're dipping into overgiving, what do you do to make sure that you don't fall down that rabbit hole? Please comment below and brainstorm with me. I appreciate you so much, and I will talk with you guys again next Friday. Bye.